Every dime is a flavor.
Welcome, everyone, to Phillips Arena. We're in Atlanta, Georgia, the home of the Hawks, where we'll be broadcasting live today. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and here with me tonight, Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. James Harden. A look at the opening lineup for the Houston Rockets. Modiunas and Howard, the post pair. Everly and Harden, they're the backcourt. And it's Ariza in at the three, the small forward. And the basket by Harden.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we can see right there why he does.
Now here's T. Outside Millsap. Offline with his three.
And guys, you hear about how the Hawks are the jokingly referred to as the Spurs of the East. It has to do with their coach, Mike Budenholzer, who's really brought that philosophy here to Atlanta.
Here is Harden. Shot clock at 5. And just over a minute played here in the start of the game. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
And a really good way to start the game. He's a guy who, if he gets it going early, he's going to give you props.
Oh, and the dunk by Ariza.
Oh, quick hands on the steal and just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Korver kicks to Horford. Here's Millsap. Again, Millsap missing. On for Coach Budenholzer, Greg. He did spend 19 years with the Spurs, so it makes a lot of sense. Clark, he won 4 titles during his time there in San Antonio.
And, Kevin, you can really see how he's adapted and brought the motion offense over to this team, and it's worked well for the Hawks.
And Beverly kicks to Howard. There's the dish to Harden. It's stolen by Korver. Pushing it up. He feeds it to Bazemore. To the wing right side. And Millsap, here we go. Outside for Korver. And stolen by Howard. Here's Ariza. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark.
You know, he can be a little hesitant near the rim. We saw it there. If the defense offers just a little bit of resistance, he doesn't take it up quite strong enough.
Now here's Millsap. Outside Korver. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Can they get it? No luck. And the Rockets take it the other way. There's the feed to Beverly. Outside Ariza. And Howard has it in the corner. Ariza passes it to Beverly. Fires the 3. Ariza with another miss. The Hawks trail by 8.
You know, there was plenty to be happy about last year in Atlanta with the way the Hawks played. One sour note, though, was that the team was viewed as a potential buy for Seattle groups.
And so it looks like the Hawks will retain possession here. And the Hawks with a completely new group on the floor. We've got 1:28 left to play in the first quarter. Outside Hardaway. Splitter sets a screen. Hardaway dishes the Splitter. 3-pointer. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
Excellent defense on the perimeter that time. He probably should have passed up that shot.
And Brewer kicks to McDaniels. Terry the pass to Beasley. It's rebounded by Schroeder.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
In the corner, Hardaway with it. And he gets it to go.
It took them a while, but finally they take the lid off.
You know, sometimes all it takes is one to get a team going. We'll see if that's the case here.
Capella kicks to McDaniels. Six to shoot. Houston needs to get a shot on. Brewer is just to McDaniels. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. The Hawks trail by 6. Here's Schroeder. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Splitter. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. The Hawks shooting their first free throw of the contest.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
Really, guys, it's just come together for them at the charity stripe this season. I mean, the confidence is there, and so...
A good, close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Rockets lead by 3. 2K Sports back in a moment here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Rockets.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
This is how the floor looks for the Rockets starting the second. Everly and Harden, they're the backcourt. Modiunas and Howard, the post pair. And it's Ariza in the small forward. Kent Bazemore is checked in for the Hawks. 4 on the shot clock. It's Harden with the drive. The baseline J. Atlanta with the rebound.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times. Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage in size.
Korver passes to Bazemore. It's Millsap with the drive. Feeds it to Bazemore. And stolen by Ariza. And here comes Harden, leading the fast break.
Well, that's why they're on the lead. Aggressive play at both ends. Very nicely done there.
Absolutely. They make the steal, pay dividends instantly on the fast break.
To Bazemore. Pass it to Schroeder. Outside for Korver. A second chance effort. And that one comes up a bit short.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open. And the Rockets have lost out on some free agent wars the past few years. They have remained competitive, but you wonder what could have been if they landed or kept some of those big names.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Humphries comes in for Al Horford. And it's Teague in for Dennis Schroeder.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And with the Rockets, it's no secret that they take a very analytical approach to team building. Greg, you and I talked about that. And Clark, you know, you wonder if that hurts them in free agency.
Well, you know, when your front office makes no qualms about viewing players as simply just assets, it can be a hard sell to a free agent.
And the call will be against Jeff Teague. That's his first foul. Harden against Korver. On the wing, Harden. He's got 10. The Hawks trail by 6. Pass to Teague. Lets it go from the wing. Wow, way off on that one. Rockets have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. And Beverly gives to Monteunice. Now here's Beverly. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Just 4 to shoot. And the call will be against Jeff Teague. That'll be his second foul of the game.
He's jammed himself up a little bit here with that second foul. But as long as he can avoid a third before the half, I think he's fine.
Splitter is checked in for Paul Millsap. Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Houston.
A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
Leaves the dishes to Beverly. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Boy, last year the Rockets dealt with a lot of injuries. I mean, the front court and post players were hit the hardest. I think almost every Rocket big would end up missing some time.
So for the Hawks, Mike Scott's checked in for Humphries. Cephalosha comes in for Kent Bazemore. Hardaway is subbed in for Kyle Korver. Houston also making some changes. Capella's checked in, and Corey Brewer's subbed in for James Harden. And stolen by Splitter. And it's Hardaway slamming it down.
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
I tell you what, I like that, though, guys. Some coaches might not want you to make a play like that, but I tell you what, when you got the skills like that, I say go for it.
Brewer, the pass to Beasley. Here's Howard. No good again that time. And last season, GA, as you were talking about, the injuries for the Rockets did pile up. Dwight Howard was out. Terrence Jones was out. They missed those guys for multiple games.
Yeah, and that hurt him inside. But also, remember, Beverly goes down right before the playoffs. So, in all, the Rockets had 180 missed games on their roster due to injury. Amazing they stayed so resilient and were able to capture that 2 seed.
Inside. Stolen away. One-on-one here. And it's Beasley finishing it off.
And you can see the importance of that steal. I mean, really a 4-point turnaround with the conversion at the other end right there.
Yeah, the importance of the defense there. Instead of giving up the bucket and having that 5-point deficit, all of a sudden, we got a tie ball game.
For Houston, they have come up empty at the line so far in 3 attempts.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And, Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
Here's Horford. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
That will count. And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Hawks ahead, up 1. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports.
And now, your Atlanta Hawks.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
You just love it when the decision-making is as good as it was there in that first half. Didn't force anything.
Guys, I think here in the second half, though, they may want him to be a little more assertive. Start hunting more for his shot, even the tough one.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. One of the stories here, James Harden getting it done today.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about the truly greats of our game is that sometimes you get spoiled because of how consistent they can be. And so far, another big scoring night for him.
And oftentimes when he puts up that many points in the first half, he follows it up with an even better second half. We'll see if that's the case here.
all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the court right now for the Hawks, Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Teague and Korver are the guards, and it's Bazemore at the 3. Last season, Atlanta showed just how much fun a team can have playing team basketball, a complete team effort. We use that word a lot. You don't see it much in the NBA, but boy, they epitomized it, Clark.
Yeah, they sure did. Refreshing to see a team do that well collectively without a real superstar. Just a solid group that understood their roles and played them perfectly.
Here's Harden on the wing, guarded by Korver.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, but hey. He's an athlete, and I can't fault him for that one. Although, if he missed it, I might have. No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Teague kicks to Millsap. Korver dishes to Horford. Outside Millsap. Shot clock at 3. The Hawks again can't hit.
Outstanding perimeter defense there. That was a well-contested shot.
Yeah, and you know he takes a lot of pride in his defense. There are no easy threes if he's on you.
It's stolen by Korver. Millsap kicks to Korver. And just miss after miss right now.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
And it's Howard finishing it off.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
Ariza outside. Howard kicks to Beverly. Back to Howard. 6 to shoot. It's Harden with the drive, and he goes in for the dunk.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
And Atlanta calls their first timeout of the game. Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. That is his first foul of the game. Scott kicks it over to Schroeder. Back to Scott. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And, you know, for the Rockets, they had a major gut check in the second round. Went down 3-1 against the Clippers. Came back to win the series in 7, including Game 6, when I dozed off when they were trailing by 19 in the 4th. And was shocked to wake up in the morning and see they had forced the 7th game.
Rockets leading by 4. Inside. Capella, the pass to Beasley. On the wing, Brewer. Guarded by Hardaway. Here's Capella. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Look at this man just go flying by him after the shot fake.
Well, it might be humiliating for a defender, but it feels oh so good on the flip side.
Yeah, get him in the paratroopers club and then take advantage of it.
Dishes it to Cephalosha. Here's Schroeder. In Atlanta again with the bucket. 27 seconds left in the third quarter. Beasley dishes to Ariza. 16 seconds left in the third. And Beverly kicks to Brewer. That one off the back iron and out.
And if the shot's not there, you've got to understand that. Move the basketball.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not quite sure what his mindset or what he was thinking there. I mean, that was just a...
And we've reached the end of the third. Rockets lead by 4. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. So on the floor for Houston, Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Modi, Eunice, and Howard the post pair. And it's Beverly in at the 1 spot.
Whoa. That'll wake you up. My goodness.
Is he an athlete or what?
No doubt about it. It's almost as if he lives in the air, and dunks like that have become quite commonplace.
Rockets leading by 6. Here's Harden. For the basket for his 10th make. 10 for 12. 82% accuracy.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything. And he's really having all sorts of problems with his jumper right now.
Yeah, big time. I mean, the words that come to mind, ice and cold and disappearing stroke, all would apply.
Schroeder kicks it to Bazemore. Millsap a screen. From deep. The Hawks again can't hit. The Rockets have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the fourth quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. Howard, the pass to Ariza. It's deflected. And as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball here. Atlanta making a switch here. Teague's checked in. First minute and a half of basketball played here in the fourth quarter. Reason. It's good. The assist. And there is a buzz in the air in the sold-out Quicken Loans Arena. We'll see the Houston Rockets facing Cleveland. You're in for a treat as we bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony and Doris Burke reporting from the sidelines. A look at the opening lineup for the Houston Rockets. Modiunas and Howard, the post pair. Everly and Harden, they're the backcourt. And it's Ariza in the 3 slot.
Good make to get things underway.
Yeah, and always a relief, I think, to get those first points out of the way and actually get that first sweat and that first bit of contact in the game, because it just settles you down a little bit.
Cleveland on defense. Harden inside the 3-point line. He trains the quick shot. Harden's got his second bucket. It's no secret, Clark, what this Houston Rockets team wants to do. They want to get to the line, drive the lane, and hurt you from outside the arc.
And they'll do it all at a very fast pace. I mean, they're fun to watch. The pace is something that I think sneaks up on teams sometimes, Kevin.
Good point.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Irving to Smith. James outside. Just 5 to shoot. Love with the buckets.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
Harden against Smith. And the jam by Harden.
Boy, that was a violent throw down there.
You're telling me.
I mean, it's almost like he doesn't like the rim.
2 from long range in the first quarter.
And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. A part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
At the line for 2.
As you said, the Cavs put a lot of pressure on themselves because of the trade. You could see it affect the way they came out of the gate, Clark.
And, you know, it was just night and day, Kevin, when the Cavs began to relax and click. I mean, a total transformation and turnaround. They would go 19-20 in the first 39 games and then 34-9 over the rest of the season once those guys gelled and got locked in.
6 on the shot clock. Wow, we're going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special.
My goodness, that was almost a circus-like dunk.
Now, here is Irving. With the shot. Once again off the mark by Cleveland.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
And the Rockets with possession here. Modiunas with the steal. Harden inside the 3-point line. And the whistle blows, and it's going to be an over-the-back call here.
Boy, did he go hard to the boards, but clearly went over the back to Dillon.
Yeah, kudos for the effort. I always love that kind of effort, but he was just a little overzealous.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Capella's checked in, and it's Beasley in for Modiunas. Shot clock at 5. Irving drives in. Soft touch off the glass. Irving's got his first bucket in this one.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Beasley kicks to Beverly. Here's Capella. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Well, he's an undersized center, but he more than makes up for it with some serious leaping ability.
It's going to be 2 free throws. True contact. On the shot.
That's his first personal foul.
Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turns out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance.
The Rockets making a switch here. Terry's checked in. Beasley, the pass to Brewer. Back to Beasley. And he makes good on the layup.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Irving with the ball. And Terry picks him up defensively. And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. So that will be his 2nd foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
2 shots.
And, you know, for the Rockets, they had a major gut check in the 2nd round. Went down 3-1 against the Clippers. Came back to win the series in 7, including Game 6, when I dozed off when they were trailing by 19 in the 4th, and was shocked to wake up in the morning and see they had forced the 7th game.
Now here's Terry. Capella kicks to McDaniels. From the corner, Brewer's shot is off.
A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure. Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket. And, you know, obviously, there's some things out there he does not like and wants to talk it over.
Well, Greg, you played and you envision yourself as a coach as well. So, you know, sometimes you need to make some adjustments.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. Now here's Harden. He got it up. And it's in. Oh, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
What
Houston on top, up by 4. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the 2nd quarter right after this. Now the 2nd quarter getting ready to start up. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Rockets, guys.
You always like it when your team doesn't settle for outside shots, and that's been the case here early on.
Yeah, I agree with you. They've done a nice job, Greg, working it low and not taking the easy way out on offense, keeping that pressure on the defense by going inside.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the 2nd quarter. So on the floor for Cleveland, Kyrie Irving and J.R. Smith at the guard set. LeBron and Love are the talented pair at the forward position. And it's Thompson in at the 5, down low. Smith again. Harden. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Harden's got 13.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
You know, the Cavs last season won a bunch of games, but they had to fight for a lot of them. They often would fall behind early or dig a big hole and have to fight their way out of it.
Now a timeout called by Houston. You mentioned, GA, the Cavs and their comebacks. They actually overcame double-digit deficits for 13 of their 53 wins last year.
Yeah, and Kevin, I remember their biggest one being a comeback after being down 17 points. I mean, but when you have the star power that the Cavs have, no comeback is out of the question. You're just never safe against this team.
A different look now for Cleveland. Mozgov comes in for Tristan Thompson. And it's Iman Shumpert in for LeBron. And a switch here also for Houston. Montejunas is checked in. Beverly against Irving. Pass to Harden. And they're going to... out the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
Oh, nice double pump finish there. Strictly for the fans.
And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Rockets.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, the other thing, though, is they have attacked in the open floor. They're definitely getting a lot of easy ones that way.
He is 8 for 11 with that shot. And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Here's Irving. True on the 14-footer. Irving's got 6 points.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Harden draws the double. And so here is Houston. Monunis kicks to Beasley. Mozgov with the block. And they're able to recover. Lock at 6. Beverly dishes to Harden. A three-pointer off the mark.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
And it goes out of bounds. That one is off Smith.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Houston making some changes. McDaniels, he's checked in for Hart. And it's Terry in for Patrick Beverly. Here's McDaniels. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
Smith for 3. That ball finishes by Love. Smith's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Terry kicks to Beasley. Out left to the wing. The dish now to McDaniels. And that one's good. McDaniels got 4 this quarter.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
Smith for 3. And another 3 for Cleveland.
That's the second long-range bomb in the quarter after a slow first period. He is on a roll.
Over in the corner, McDaniels. And fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move, and he'll shoot 2. That one on Mozgov.
And you know what? Saved what was likely to be a dunk.
And, you know, under the circumstances, Greg, that's a good foul. You just can't let him have that throwdown.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers. Cavs were one of the top teams in the East last year, and it was in large part to how strong they were at home.
What, did they shoot it well from beyond the arc at home, Kevin? I mean, top 3 in the league in terms of three-point shooting. It does help to have LeBron, doesn't it?
It does. That is a factor. For the Cavaliers, Thompson, he's checked in for Mozgov. LeBron comes in for Smith. And Mo Williams subbed in for Kyrie Irving. The first free throw is good.
Oh my God, he's got that.
And, you know, for the Cavs at home, they ended with 31 wins there. Second best record in the East in that regard. A lot of those wins actually came after the All-Star break.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Capella's checked in. And Trevor Ariza is subbed in for Moniunas. The screen from Thompson. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. Houston leading by 3. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Capella kicks to McDaniel. And the 3 off target. Cleveland's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. And it's out of bounds. The Cavaliers able to retain possession here. And here's James outside. Up and in for the basket. Number 4. That makes him 4 for 5 now.
Love the play there on the inbound. The defense lost contact with him, and he knocks down the triple.
And it's Terry off the drive. And it's Ariza in the corner. Fires from deep. No good.
And that's not the best of shot selection there.
And so it's tied as we head to halftime. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Quicken Loans Arena.
Fans, you gotta get loud. Come on.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
Greg, that's exactly what we're talking about when we talk about being efficient as an offensive player. Fully on display there with him.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
And he just went off in those first 2 quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
You know, guys, I think you've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him up like he has been.
Timeout called, Cleveland. Cleveland's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. And so in the game for the Rockets. Harden and Ariza filling out the perimeter. Moniunas and Howard the post pair. And it's Beverly in at the 1. Irving's gone 3 for 8 tonight from the field. Harden the pass to Moniunas. Harden against Smith. And J.R. Smith picks up the foul. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
And here's Harden. 17 points in the game. Shot clock at 5. Houston needs to get a shot off. Beverly. The three-pointer, no good. Cavaliers shooting 56% in this game, really stringing quality possessions together offensively. That gives them the lead. Thompson's got the first points of the second half here for Cleveland. The Rockets were terrific on the road last season, Clark. Tied for second with the Clippers for the most road wins in the league.
26-15, although if you want to get picky about it, they had one of those wins in Mexico City, so maybe 25.5 road wins for them.
Now a timeout called by Houston. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
A little over a minute gone here in the second half.
And I do remember that Mexico City game last year for the Rockets. A huge turnout for them. It felt like they were the crowd favorites. Still, you can't take anything away from their road performances last season.
6 on the shot clock. Irving against Beverly. Got it off in time to beat the shot clock, but it's no good. And it's Smith penetrating. Love against Cowell. Fades. Love can't hit.
And, you know, you think about the Rockets, as you mentioned. I mean, one reason they were so good on the road is their offense didn't miss a beat when they left Houston. When you can get to the line as much as they did, you remain consistent on the road.
Shot misses. Good D by Thompson. Irving for 3. Can't get it to go. And the Rockets take it the other way.
1 for 4 from the field since halftime. They're having a tough time getting it going here.
Once again off the mark by Cleveland.
Yeah, the offense scuffling a bit to start this second half. Only 1 for the first 5.
Harden outside. Here's the teardrop. And it's good on the layup. Harden's got 19 points.
You know, the teardrop sometimes is one of those, oh no, oh no, oh yeah shots.
Irving kicks to Love. Now the pass to LeBron. Back to Love. Offensive rebound. Stolen by Harden. A minute 50 left here in the third quarter. Pass to Beverly. Back to Harden. Just 5 on the clock. For the lead. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. Well, you go back last season, the Cavs had a very slow start to the year. Not surprising. They had a lot of new faces and people they're bringing together. Clark, it didn't look like the powerhouse they would end up being, as we saw.
Well, you know, they were kind of fumbling and bumbling around in the 5th and 6th spots in the East for the first half of the season. Made some changes, though, through trade, and that got them going, I think.
Irving kicks to LeBron. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. LeBron's got the game tied up here for the Cavs. Rockets have gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. Good. And that's now 21 points for James Harden.
And those midseason trades for the Cavs really turned things around. Mozgov came in, J.R. Smith and Shumpert secured that 2 spot, gave this team an incredible edge defensively.
There's 31 seconds left to play here in the third. And stolen by LeBron. the basket and the foul. It's on Moniunas.
Yeah, how about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
Yeah, we call that playing through the whistle. You know, he didn't give up on it when he heard the whistle. He kept his focus, his concentration, and he found a way to get the shot up and down.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. For Houston, they've gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. Terry dishes to McDaniels. Timeout called the Rockets. Look at LeBron James. He's really been playing well.
He's getting to the rack all game, and if they can't do a better job of keeping him out of the paint, they're in for a long night.
Houston making some changes. Harden with it. And oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
Nice shot there without a
situation. It really irks you to give up a shot like that to close out the quarter. You know, oftentimes those end of quarter points can be the difference in a ball game.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Houston in the lead. J.R. Smith and LeBron at the 2 and 3. Thompson is out there with Kevin Love. And it's Irving in the point guard position. So that's who's on the floor for the Cavaliers. It's Harden with the drive. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And, Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, but I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
And here's Love for 3.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed. Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
LeBron with it. He's picked up by Ariza. Smith the pass to Irving. Offline with his 3.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down. Try to get some easy.
LeBron outside. And he slams it down right on Moniunas.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
Yeah, but hey. He's an athlete, and I can't fault him for that one. Although, if he missed it, I might have.
Shot clock at 6. Shot from 16. That's short off the rim. The Cavaliers trailed by 4. Moniunas with the steal. And Beverly kicks to Moniunas. Thompson against Harden. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
And the Rockets were a tough team last year, but at times it really felt like a one-man show. Harden carried them so much for so long. You just have to wonder if it wore him out.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Houston. Brewer comes in for Trevor Ariza.
You know, even against defense as tight as that, you expect him to bury those.
Yeah, I don't know, though, Clark. That defender was on him like glue on that possession. That would have been a heck of a bucket, even though we've seen him hit those in the past.
For three, Smith. There's the bucket. Good. And if carrying the team during the regular season or Harden down, Greg, as you were talking about, it didn't show that much in the playoffs. Harden was phenomenal most, if not Clark, all of the postseason.
I would agree with you, but there also were some other guys for Houston that did step up in the postseason. Howard looked as good as he did before all of his injuries, as a case in point.
Three-pointer. Shot's good. Smith's got 6 points in the quarter.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
That's 2 in a row, and we call that a streak.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Yeah, I agree with you, because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
Hey, Kevin, well, the Rockets coach had some advice for the team over that last break. He was highly animated when he was talking to them, telling them this is going to be a huge win for us. When we close this out, it will go a long way towards showing the rest of the league what we're capable of.
Trevor Ariza's checked in for the Rockets. Shot clock at 5. And here's Harden for 3. Thompson with the rebound. Johnson's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
He's not exactly striking them from deep. He had 1 3-ball in the first half. He killed bagels in the second.
And he gives them the lead with that basket there. That's his trademark, folks. Exploding to get to the rim.
Well, so far he hasn't been able to get to the line like he did in the first. The defense is playing him a little bit smarter, backing off of him a bit and defending without foul.
Harden with it. Now Smith defending. Harden against Smith. Ariza kicks to Harden. Shot from the wing. That misses off the backboard. And here are the Cavaliers. They're on an 11-3 run.
Boy, they've got them on their heels the way they've been running the ball up and down, right down their throat.
Yeah, some explosive plays we're seeing now in transition have really keyed this run.
It's good. And he has brought them to within 2 points.
As clutch a shot as I have ever seen.
In a word, gutsy.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he gets them both, and it's a 4-point ballgame.
And I don't need to tell you guys, those free throws are big. 2-possession game now.
Pass to Ariza. Kicks it to Beasley. Thompson against Beverly. Beasley for 3. Thompson with the rebound.
Even against solid defense, he's still going to try to continue to make that shot.
And I wouldn't bet against him in that situation the next time out. Just dialed in from the 3-point line in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they're putting a world of hurt on him with the triple.
Timeout called, the Rockets. They're behind by 7. 23 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
You know, I think he's just trying to send his team a message, you know, not willing to give up on this game just yet. Just trying to instill that fight in this group.
Yeah, hey, I'm all for giving messages and teaching lessons, and I respect that, but at some point, if it's over, it's over. I mean, you need to be looking at the next one. This one's done. Forget about it. Let's move on.
Here is Harden. He feeds it to Ariza. Another miss by Houston. Cleveland with the ball. They're on an 18-5 run here. And they're